Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water.
Bad news this morning for hundreds of thousands of people in West Virginia whose drinking water is contaminated.
We don't know that the water's not safe, but I can't say it is safe.
As residents of West Virginia line up for bottled water, many like Chase Tavares want to know why there was no state oversight of the chemical company that contaminated the local drinking water.
Within hours, 9 counties were included in the advisory. EMS centers were flooded with calls.
We would just ask that everyone, please do not use any tap water.
Never realize how much you need water.
We were aware of the leaking storage tank around 10:30.
The chemical which is used to process coal leaked near the biggest water treatment plant in the state.
People are unable to use water for anything. That means no showering, no shaving, no morning coffee, and no idea just how much longer it'll take.
Tiny bit of good news here in Charleston. It's that state officials say their testing of the water shows that the contamination level is going down.
As a precaution, the health department ordered all restaurants and schools impacted to close.
And as people try to cope, FEMA is on hand delivering more than 1 million liters of clean water. The National Guard is on the scene too. Water bottles like liquid gold.
I would appreciate it if we could wrap this thing up.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
The chemical spill in Charleston, but it was like opening up a Pandora's box of issues about water, not just in our state, but nationwide.
Water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia.
In the Innovator in Residence program, we're always looking at a way to do experimental reporting with new technology.
Even once the water was turned on, people didn't believe the water was safe. There are some who live in parts of those 9 counties in southern West Virginia who still don't believe their water is safe.
How limited our sensor capabilities are when it comes to water. And that's not to say that there aren't a lot of sensors out there on the landscape that we know about, but you know, I can get on AccuWeather, right, and it can tell me what the smog is like in a network of sensors around the country.
We have all of these sensing technologies coming into play that extract data from everything. That includes smart objects, but it also includes our environment.
No, this was not handled well, in my opinion, at multiple levels. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact we were in uncharted territory. Some of it, I think, of our own making, some of it not. This was a chemical that we knew about and had been a part of the coal industry and the cleaning process for a number of years, but had not been studied very extensively. So we didn't have a lot of information from the scientific community to start with to know, you know, what are the effects? What are the potential hazards? What should we be telling people? And not just as media, but what should the Department of Public Health be telling people? What should the water company be telling people? And so there was a scrambling at the beginning to just gather information to share.
The power of what citizen journalism did to really give voice to groups that had not been able to speak for themselves. They had to rely on sort of official voices or mediated voices and brands and companies, you know, where it gives rise to things like Arab Spring or Black Lives Matter. You know, that's the power of technology and citizen journalism.
The project through the College of Media is, while the science is not necessarily innovative, what's innovative is that as media experts begin to do science, begin to understand the science, and their ability to communicate that science increases, regardless of the value of the science. And so that is crazy valuable over time. And you know, as a scientist, something I'm extremely excited about.
Every day you're sort of doing something unknown and new to you, also new to your students. And so it requires a lot of trust among all of the participants and leaps of faith. You kind of have to dispel students' concerns right off the bat about grades.
Well, so there's a couple of things that limit the value of science. And most notable among those is transferring that information, making that information become part of everyday life.
But it also really points the way to the power of some of these emerging technologies, potentially, maybe not now, but in the future, and of community engagement and being part of how we look at water quality and security in our communities.
This shows the power of community when it comes to a story like this, because Facebook is in essence an online community, and Twitter in a different sense is also an online community. And these were people all from the same general area, but others who just had an interest in the area, getting information very quickly through a non-traditional sense.